but deep resentment builds between them. And they end really more as just like with like a little bit of mutual respect and shared history. And that is Minister of Magic Hermione Granger and her husband.
Don't do this to me. No, I reject that.
Yes. All right.
No.
Let's just go. Can I just lay out the facts?
Sure, but I don't care.
Okay. Welcome to the Redirect Podcast. I'm Abigail Freshley.
And I'm Emily Rojas. The Redirect Podcast is the show where we shift the conversation back to books. We discuss themes for some of our favorite books and how those themes show up in our real lived experiences.
On today's episode, we're discussing famous book couples, or maybe not so famous. I don't know. We haven't compared lists. And we're looking ahead into the future and deciding, where are they now?
Where are they now, indeed? But before we get to that, we would love for you to support the show in a few super simple ways. So if you're listening to the sound of my voice and you haven't done so yet, go on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and click those 5 stars, leave us a 5-star review, and let us know how much you love the show.
You can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Redirect Podcast. Visit us online at www.redirectpodcast.com. You can follow Emily on social media on all platforms at Emily Rojas Reads, and you can follow me on Instagram at FabigaleInsta and on TikTok at Fabigale11. But if you really, really, really love the show, please share it with a friend, because sharing our show with a friend is by far the best way to help us grow our community of book-loving nerds, and what a wonderful community it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited to get into this topic.
Yes.
This has been like on our brainstorm list for a long time, but we haven't actually done it. So yeah, we have not compared lists in advance. We have not. No. Our outline document is empty.
As always.
As always. There are like hundreds of like, I don't know. We're almost at our 100th episode, by the way.
We are, I know. You guys, what should we do for our 100th episode? Speaking of,
if you have any ideas,
DM us or go to redirectpodcast.com. Send us a message.
Do you think there's like we should do the thing like kindergartners do on the 100th day of school, where they like come dressed up like old people and they bring like 100 of something, like 100 Cheerios or. When I was a kid, and when I was in kindergarten, we did that. And I was like, oh, like, God, I'm going to bring 100 Cheerios to school? That's so many Cheerios.
Yeah.
And then it was like...
It's like one little bag.
Baggie.
The 100th day of school was so lit for no reason. Like, that was the best day ever. I don't know.
Well, there's like... Is it still that there's 180 days in the school year? Because that's drilled into me. Like,
most schools.
We only have 180 days in this year.
Some
what
schools,
you learn is up to you.
Based on hours or, it depends on the state. But many states are 180 days.
Okay. Well, when you get to the 100th day, you're like, 80 days left.
Yeah,
we're almost there.
So it was awesome. So maybe we'll do that for the people watching us,
Probably
which
not,
is no one. But if you have any suggestions, we love to chat. We gotta do something special.
Give us an idea.
Because who would have ever thought?
For our 100th episode. Come on.
Anyway.
I mean, when you release an episode every other week and occasionally skip one due to reasons, like, it takes a while to get to 100.
Yeah. It takes... Like, if I just thought off the top of my head, how long is that going to take? I wouldn't have necessarily thought immediately. It would be, like, almost, 4 years? So...
Exactly.
Exciting. So anyways, stay tuned. We'll be I think it'll be like August when we get to our 100th episode. So we're so excited.
Soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. What was your approach to your
this?
list? I would love to. Okay, let's explain the idea too first.
Well, I put in, the idea is it's fun to speculate online about like controversial couples from romance books or even from books that are not romance books or just couples. And think about like their pairing, if they had chemistry, how that relates to if you like the book and where they are now.
Yeah.
I didn't think about this until this moment.
Uh-huh.
But I think for some of my couples, I want to go back through and think like on the fly, what are they doing right now in 2026? Like,
oh, that's nice.
Not just like if they made it, but like where are they today?
What's their life? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me either, but that's
so I'll have to do some Googling on the fly. Like, how old would they be now?
Yeah. Okay.
But so yeah, I mean, mostly just did this on vibes in the last half an hour. What about you? What was your process?
My thought process was I wanted one of every scenario. So I have a couple that I think breaks up shortly after the events of their book. I have a couple that I think got engaged but never got married. I have a couple that I think got married but got divorced. And then I have one that I think are living happily ever after. So I tried to do my best to fit in those categories.
All right, well, we will have a good mix. Because I had one that I said in love till their dying breath.
Correct. Do you think it might be the same cup?
No, I don't. I think you'll agree with me, but I don't think it's the same couple. But I could be wrong. So.
I can't wait. I can't wait. So yeah, that was my thought process. And also, I want to say I reject the idea of epilogues. I don't like them. And so if there is an epilogue in any of these books, I don't really care what it says. I'm telling you the truth, and I know better than the author.
But also, this is like post epilogue too.
Yeah,
this is like. So how many do you have total? I have 5 total.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Okay,
4.
maybe I should go first then.
Yeah, go first. And close.
So I can start and end it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is my first one. Is one that I feel like just had to be addressed, and hopefully it's not on your list too. But that is one, Bella and Edward Cullen.
Okay, it's not on my list, but I would love to talk about them. Yes.
Okay. The whole idea of being vampires is you're going to live together for eternity. Okay?
Correct.
Never ending unless the Volturi burns you. Yeah. I don't actually know. Like, I think part of the cool thing about love and commitment is that you are pledging, like, you're committing your one short fleeting life to another person.
Correct.
And that's part of what makes it. If time is endless, then it just means nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It cheapens it.
I do know.
It's kind of like in The Good Place.
Yes.
People in The Good
agree.
Place are like, this kind of sucks, actually. Okay. So Bella and Edward, they are still married, but it is extremely toxic. Basically, the whole thing that made their whirlwind romance work was that Edward felt this protectiveness. He had to take care of this frail human person. But then she becomes a vampire, and she is going to gain knowledge. When they first meet, he's 109. He has 109 years of wisdom. She has 17, and there's this huge imbalance. But as time goes by, like the gap in their experience and their wisdom, their autonomy, it shrinks significantly, because I can't imagine there's that much difference between like being 200 years old and 300 years old wisdom wise. Do you know what I mean? Like, you get to a point, you just learned enough, right? So I think, but also they are in a very closed system. There's not a lot of places Bella could go. I mean, Bella would be the one leaving the family. He keeps the family, right?
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
Because she marries in. So where's she going to go if she decides to leave the coven? She can't go anywhere. And also, like, she has no financial autonomy either. So she's completely tied up with him. Also, like, her daughter is in a weird relationship with a werewolf, and that is like place-based and requires them to kind of stay in Forks. So it's like, she's not going anywhere. It's toxic. Resentment builds. But they don't really have she doesn't have any other options to get away. But over time, she decides, what if I had my own thoughts and opinions about things?
Sure.
And he doesn't really like that so much. So eventually it becomes sexless, and it becomes more of an obligation. Or it's just like Michael and Jan, like, angry animal sex, and then like back to like hating each other is my feeling. And that's where they are now. Also, I sent you this earlier this week. For the listeners, I got a text from my sister. It's a picture of my 14-year-old niece, and she's holding her first ever copy of Twilight. Yes. And she has started her journey towards being a woman by beginning the Twilight saga.
As we all must do.
Tell her I say that the book is really fun, but she should aspire for more in her own romantic life.
And that's wise. That's really wise.
Do you agree, disagree?
Totally agree. Do you subscribe to Sarah Gallagher's theory that they divorce and reunite on a 10-year alternating cycle? Have you seen her talk about this?
I'm a huge Sarah Gallagher fan, but I have not heard her talk about this.
Okay, so that is her.
Everyone go follow Sarah
her on
Gallagher
TikTok.
and read her book, What We Love and Hate About Twilight.
Yes. So she's posted about this a few times, but her theory is that every 10 years, I don't know why this tickles me so much, but every 10 years.
That's so specific.
They divorce and then and then 10 years pass and then they come back together after 10 years. So right now, because 2006 is when they got married, so they're on a cycle where they will be, I think, so 2006.
Why did she think that they're together when they break up every 10 years?
For similar reasons to you, basically exactly what you outlined.
Yeah.
But she thinks like every 10 years that Bella like basically leaves and they have this toxic thing, and then the next 10 years she comes back and I'm down with that. I think that
she's like, because she's bored, she's like, okay, whatever. I need to like get back with really the only person who will accept me, my creator.
Correct.
That's messed. The whole thing is messed up.
It's
honestly,
tough.
Edward had the right idea to begin with, which is let her die as a human. But
that would have been a better situation. So I think, and so right now they would be on the getting back together part of the cycle in 2026, where she's like getting low, or maybe she ran out of money, like you said, and then they get back together. And then
she has no friends, she has no family, she has nothing of her own.
Kid that she probably is an absentee parent to, I would guess.
Oh, she's a horrible mom.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, all of that.
So
okay, that's
or
done.
maybe it's Jacob and Renesmee's wedding.
Let us know in the comments.
That's what brings them back together. That's my new headcanon. Yeah.
I mean, I think they've probably been long married, but let us know what you think. If you with each of these couples, we're going to go through if you agree or disagree.
Yeah.
Okay,
totally.
Emily, your first one. Go.
Okay, mine is I do think this couple breaks up soon after the events of the book, and that is Scarlett Vandermeer and Lucas Blomquist from Deep End by Allie Hazelwood. Again, I don't care about any epilogues or any appearances in any other books. I don't think they break up immediately.
I considered them.
Okay, what were you gonna say?
No. I couldn't come to it, so I didn't want to face it. But okay,
but it's true.
You go.
I don't think they break up immediately. I think that they date through college and then they have separate lives after that. Like they have different career paths, or he wants to move back to wherever he's from and she wants to do something else. And I just think that is a natural into the relationship. Sweden, thank you. I don't think it's a messy breakup. I don't think there's any hard feelings. Maybe they even stay friends. Maybe she even goes to visit him in Sweden. 10 years later, she's still single. They hook up, but it doesn't really turn into anything serious. I just do not see them settling down, living happily ever after together. I didn't get that vibe. I love the book. I had a great time reading it. Do I think they're meant to be, or are they just maybe a very fun college experience because they fulfill each other's mutual needs, both emotionally and physically? And then the second they realize there's a wider world out there, they might realize they don't have as much in common as they thought. Yeah, I think that would be it. So that's my thought for them. That's what I'm going to say. In 2026, she's visiting Sweden. She's backpacking through Europe to try to find herself, as all good millennials must do. She stays with him. They hook up again, but they're like, you know what? We are better as friends. That's my thought.
I'm going to amend this.
Okay.
I agree with you. I think I think that Scarlett has more life to live.
Yeah.
More experiences to have. They break up after college. They go separate ways, but they never really shake each other off. They try dating other people, blah, blah, blah. Maybe Scarlett tries girls. Then she goes and visits him in Sweden. And it's like a Knights in Rodanthe moment. Nicholas Sparks call out.
Sure.
But they reconnect in like their 30s.
Yeah.
And
I can see that.
They decide actually to make it work.
I love a second chance romance.
That's
in
that's
2026. It's perfect. She is like, I have to get out of the US. He's like, I'll marry you for the visa. A marriage of convenience. Yep. She moves to Sweden. They fall back in love. They're together. Okay, I can be with that.
But they have more life experience. And I think she's like, no one really did it for me like you. Yeah. In many ways. Yeah. They've both had their like athletic careers, and now they're in the second half of like they're discovering their careers and all. All right. Yep. I think. Okay. I agree with you, but I agree with your amendment.
Together. Okay. Yeah. Sure. I'm down for that. I agree.
All right. Fair.
Because I don't think it's a talk. I think if they do break up, it's not any hard feelings. It's like genuinely just, I don't think this is working right now. So I'm good with them getting back together. Okay, cool. Okay. What's your next couple?
Okay. My next couple is Eric and Kyle from Common Goal. I think it's like the fourth book in the Game Changer series. Have you read that one?
I have not. That's the one I have not read.
Okay. It is an age gap romance. So Eric is a nearly retired NHL player for the New York Admirals, and everyone on that team is gay, apparently. But he is he has been married to a woman for a long time. He is bisexual, and he's recently gotten divorced. He's like a dad. He has kids, whatever. And he now is he doesn't want to announce publicly, though, that he's divorced because he's just about to retire. He doesn't want to make it a whole thing. He kind of just wants to retire and then like quietly move on. So he's been wearing his wedding ring. Anyways, he meets this young man. And by young man, I do mean young man. It's an age gap love. He's like 40 and Kyle is like 23 or something like that.
Thank you,
Kyle. And Kyle is a bartender at the place, the gay bar that's got Kingfisher. And he is like, has had bad experiences with older closeted men in the past. And he's wary of starting anything up with Eric. Obviously, they end up starting something up, whatever. I just think, like, I thought this book was fine. I think they have too much to overcome, personally. And I just think eventually Kyle, like, I get it, Kyle. He's rich. He's experienced. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But, like, eventually it's like you want to kind of live your own life and do your own thing. He probably, like, Eric probably doesn't want to be a dad again. Like Kyle didn't want kids, right? Like, is he going to want to start over?
Much to think about. Yeah.
And, like, and then all that entails, like, how that's going to be, how you were going to become parents, all this stuff. I just think, honestly, they date for a year. Like, at the conclusion of the book, Eric does whatever he does. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but like they get together. Obviously, they end up together, and like it's a year.
Yeah,
and then they're like, you know what? I think we actually need to go separate ways, and they're both the better for it. That's my feeling.
I do feel like I could be making this up, but I feel like I did see somewhere where Rachel Reed said she thought that they would break up. That they would not be together. I could be completely making that up.
Right. Let's see. Hold on.
I haven't read that, but I feel like she said something like she doesn't see them in real life working out in the long run. Again, I could be completely hallucinating that fact.
Not immediately clear on the first Google, but
so
I would not
could be wrong.
I would not be surprised by that, honestly. But you know what? I just want to say that doesn't mean that it's not a good story. Like there's plenty of amazing love stories that people have in their life that aren't happily ever afters.
Totally.
So anyway, all right, back to you.
Totally agree. Okay, so this is my couple that I think does get engaged, but they do not make it to the altar, and that is Alice and Hayden from Great Big Beautiful Life. So they have a baby together, obviously. I think he proposes because they have the baby. And they're one of those couples that, like, stays engaged for a really long time. And everyone's like, how's wedding planning coming? And they're like, oh, we haven't really started that yet. You know, we're getting on it. And then he starts to feel like, why did I move to this, like, small town in Georgia? There's so many bugs down here. And he's like, I could have had a career. She's like, we actually don't have that much in common. We were just bonded through this weird experience. And they have the kid, which puts a stress on it because why did they have a kid after only like a few months of knowing each other? Who thought that was a good idea? And then eventually they just
I totally blocked that out. They have a kid? I forgot that.
In the epilogue, which Emily Henry, I love you, but you will pay for your crimes of putting an epilogue baby in there. In the epilogue, they have a baby. That's like the epilogue. Okay. So yes, they have a child.
Like an accidental baby, or
I don't think they say that. It's supposed to be happily ever after that they had a baby. Look, don't get me started on that. But yeah, so I just think that they quietly eventually do not go through with the engagement. They go their separate ways. He moves back to Chicago or wherever he was living, and they share custody. The kid stays with him during the summers. They realize they just weren't that compatible. That's my thoughts on Alice and Hayden.
Okay.
Thank you.
Honestly, they weren't ever really that compelling to me. Go back and listen to our Great Big Beautiful Life episode if you for further discussion. But like, yeah, sure. This is me not caring whether they live or die.
Yeah, and I think I had to work around the kid thing, which apparently you forgot about. And like, canonically, I guess they have a child, but I just don't see that like being a wise choice, panning out in the long run. You know, I think the book itself suffered a lot from having so many flashbacks because it's like there was so much less time to get to know them as characters and as a couple. So I think that's part of the problem, because I don't care about them, like you said. But, you know, I think they just... It's another, like, maybe it's not that toxic, but it just doesn't work out. That's my thought.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. It just doesn't work out. They realize the best thing they can do for their child is break up.
Yes. I agree. Yeah.
Good friends. And they attend each other's weddings when they get married to other people.
Of course. They're very supportive. They're good co-parents. Yes.
That is a happy ending.
Yeah. That is a happy ending.
Okay.
Exactly.
That is a happy ending.
Okay.
All right.
Next.
Where should I go? Okay. This was one that was listener submitted. They want to know where Marianne and Connell end up. So we can both discuss this. I have my thoughts, but interested to hear yours.
Yes.
Obviously, these are two tortured souls with a tortured and cursed story. I think they eventually do reunite, but it's because they are both having an affair with their long-term partners. I think that they reunite by being each other's person they're cheating with. And that's canon to me. Like, fair. I just think they're so messed up. Like, will they get help? I don't know. And so this is Marianne and Connell for normal people.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should have said that. Most people probably know that. Marianne and Connell, I mean, I think it took them years to get it right, but I don't know if they really have the capacity to be together in a non-messy way where Correct. It's just like, and like, fine, like maybe I don't even know if they end up getting together. I think their affair breaks up their relationships, but they don't actually end up committed to one another because the affair actually... The drama of the affair breaks them apart too because of the stress of the loss of their families.
Okay, that is my new canon.
I'm sorry.
Bleak.
And it's a beautiful, hot affair. They're like, they should have been together. That's the whole. That's the whole thing. They should have just been together.
Help. Yeah,
and they should have gotten help, but they didn't. And so they still find their way back to one another.
Correct.
But it's
not good.
Doused in betrayal and secrecy and
infidelity.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's illicit affairs by Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
You agree?
I kind of do. I think we did actually talk about this, I believe, in our episode on normal people, which was a while ago. So you guys should go listen to that if you want to hear.
I think I changed my tune since then.
I do think you thought they would end up together in that episode, and I thought they didn't. And I still think that, but I'm kind of on board with you. I still think that he goes to America for school or whatever, and at the end, and they don't end up together. They don't stay together. They don't work things out. I'm going to go with the Daisy Jones and the Six approach. I think he marries someone he meets in the U.S. They have like a long life of fine. It's fine. He's okay. He has kids, maybe he goes to therapy, you know? He ages.
It's like Lupin and Tonks. It's like, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. But it's not the thing you really want, you guys. And then I think he either gets divorced or his wife dies, and then he reconnects with Marianne. I'm also down for there to be an affair. That's fine with me.
I think they had an affair.
Okay.
No.
This is my
what? No.
Okay. He's living in America with this girl he met at school. They have kids. He's in his 40s. Facebook comes around.
He's married to her.
This isn't like a historical fiction, but yeah.
I think Facebook had always been around.
So he gets on Facebook. He finds Marianne. And he messages her. They start up this like low-key emotional messaging thing. It's like plausible deniability stuff.
Yeah, but that's how they would do it too. They wouldn't just have a physical affair. They would have an emotional affair.
It would be writing these long letters to each other via Facebook Messenger. Meta is complicit. And then his wife dies and he goes to try to be with Marianne. And maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But like, he's always going to be haunted by that guilt that he was basically cheating on his wife. He was cheating on her with Marianne the whole time. Yeah. And so he has that like complex with him for the rest of his life. And his kids are like, wow, Dad, you moved on like really fast after Mom died. And he's like, oh, it's what she would have wanted. But, you know, debatable.
Oh my God. I can see that too. I'm okay with that option too.
Yeah. But go listen to our episode. I do think you were more pro them being together when we initially recorded it.
Well, I think they do. I think they're like fated for one another.
Correct.
But they're also fated for like agony and despair.
Right. Like whether they can actually
they'll be together, but will they be happy?
Right. TBD. Yeah.
They'll just continue being together and destroying each other and destroying their lives in the process.
And other people's around them's lives. Correct.
Terrible.
Thank you for our listener for submitting that question.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, this one might be tough. Wait, isn't it your turn? Oh no, that was yours. That was one of yours. Okay,
that was mine.
Okay.
That's why I had 5 because I had a listener
Yes, I thought that was like an interlude. Okay, so this might be controversial. I want to say I love them. I love these characters, but I do think that Kit and Theo from The Pairing get married, but they do end up getting divorced.
Wow.
And I'm basing this, I am not someone, I don't think that remarks made by authors after publishing a book are canon. However, Casey McQuiston did post a story on Instagram that was like, where are my book couples now? And they had Kit and Theo as being like happy, hot together, but engaging in ethical non-monogamy, which does kind of track for them. And so I think they just like, they to me are on the Edward and Bella track, but like less toxic. I think they're just like, why are we even married? Like, what is marriage even? Like,
what is marriage?
Like, let's just get divorced and then we'll just like keep being together. But like, we're gonna, like, who cares?
No, they would do some. That would piss me off. I mean,
I know.
They would.
I don't want to be friends with them.
That would piss me off.
To be so clear, I love them. Don't want to be friends with either of them. Don't want to know them.
Get out of my life.
But I do think they would do that.
Have you ever seen the Caleb Huron thing where he's like talking about how everyone wants to be polyamorous? And he's like, and that's fine. He's like, but you know what I want? He's like also note for the audio, scratching my back with a pen right now. It was like, you know what I want? I want to like fall in love with someone, get married to them, and stay married to them forever and never ever sleep with anyone else. He's like, I want to be like old at the pool, looking at the pool boy and be like, oh, he's cute. But no, but not doing anything about it.
Yeah, no, Kit and Theo, they're having a joint divorce party that they're hooking up after. Like, they're inviting all their friends to celebrate their divorce, and they're like literally going home with each other after. But they are just messy, and I think they might be like, this is dumb that we're married, but we still love each other.
They're just like anarchists. They're just like, fuck the system.
Yes, correct. So that's my read on them. And that's happy for them. That is their happy ending. Again, I don't want to know them or be their friends.
Do you think that why would they even get married in the first place?
Well, I think they're like, well, people are taking our rights away,
Oh, sure.
Etc.
We should probably get married.
We should just get married. And then they're like, wait, why are we married? This is so dumb. Like, this is more fun. Let's get divorced.
But they'll stay together. Stay together.
They're basically together, but they go through phases. Like, Theo goes on a solo backpacking trip, and Kit moves back to France for a while, and then they come back together again. So it's very Bella and Edward.
I cannot stand them. Actually, I can't stand the version of this that you are saying, but good for them, I guess.
Yes, it's good for them. It's not for me. I'm with Caleb Huron. Like,
I feel like such a Republican, but I'm just
sorry.
This is my most Republican take. Like, oh my gosh, just fucking get over it.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not
break
interested.
Break up or don't.
Yeah. Like, stop. Anyways, so that's my take on them. Okay.
Next. That is breaking news. Should I save my happily ever after for the end?
Yes, because mine's going to be happily ever after at the end.
All right. This is a couple who stays together because of shared trauma.
Oh.
And exposure to publicity reasons. But deep resentment builds between them. And they end really more as just like with like a little bit of mutual respect and shared history. And that is Minister of Magic Hermione Granger and her husband.
Don't do this to me. No, I reject that.
Yes. All right.
No.
Let's just go. Can I just lay out the facts?
Sure, but I don't care.
Okay. I'm going to lay out the facts for you. And the facts are she becomes Minister of Magic. She is highly competent. He is kind of hanging around. If you really had to admit this to yourself, think if he's going to be the primary parent when the kids, I guess, aren't at Hogwarts. If he's the primary parent, do you think that he's like running the household well? Like things are like staying clean, meals are like fridge is stocked.
But like, do you see where he grew up?
Okay,
also, they have
but like
magic. How hard is it to clean? So, no, what? Yeah, I think he's doing fine. I
don't know, because he's also like an Auror, but like also, how is he going to feel? Like, I don't know. He doesn't really impress to me. Like, he does not impress upon me that he's a man who's comfortable making less than his wife. To be honest with you, I think that he has like that traditional vibe, and I think that over time, I think they have a deep shared history and trauma. Obviously, Battle of Hogwarts together. They fought. They hunted down the Horcruxes. They went through it. They went through it, and they have deep admiration for one another. But eventually the spark dies because Hermione just simply feels a lot of resentment towards him, a la Hillary and Bill. And she's the Minister of Magic. And so she can't get divorced. Not only is she the Minister of Magic.
She can never get divorced, yeah. In this backwards ass world.
They are famous. Like they are like
ultra
right?
famous.
They're like wizard, they're celebrities. Like they ended Voldemort. They killed off the Death Eaters. They did all whatever. So I think that they do stay together, but deep resentment builds. I think ultimately she ends up being the primary parent, like in the ways that counts. Like she's the one who ends up staying up and like helping them do their projects or, like providing emotional support. But she's also running the whole magical world. So.
Okay. I mean, I don't like it, but
I know that you're a Ron Miney truther, but I really I think that it works out for a little bit while they're young. There's also like, I mean, you and I read The Mortifying Ordeal, and it's like, and that like they dated for a few years. Yeah. And, like I think there's a lot of fan interpretations that they might outgrow one another, but stay friends. Sure. I just think that they would have a small window to do that. And if they made it past that window, then they would stay married.
Yeah. My like genuine headcanon for them, which I think is what should happen and may or may not exist in some form out there. I do think that they should not have gotten together after the Battle of Hogwarts. They should have a messy falling out at that point, and they should reconnect like 5, 6, 7 years later. After they have both grown up, they have had life experience, they've dated other people, they've healed, they've gone to therapy, and then I think it does work out in a very healthy, positive way. I do think if they just stay together and they never do anything else, and they like, which is obviously what J.K. Rowling intended, I don't really care about her, obviously. So I do agree with you on that case. But in my headcanon, in my world, they don't ever start dating right after when they're teenagers. I think they break up, they have like a falling out, they don't stay friends, they grow, and then they come back together. And then I believe that they could live happily ever after. But I think that's a fair read.
I also think that they give like, okay, imagine 40, 50-year-olds Ron and Hermione. Like she's really hot. Like she's gotten hotter, right? And he's kind of fallen off, right? Yeah. So there's also that. Like
there is also that.
The sexual
many such cases though.
Anyways, back to you.
Okay. Let me paint a picture for you. This is a couple you know very well. And this is one, Nick and Andy.
No.
Okay. So I think, did some math. They're 25.
Nick and Andy from We Could Be So Good by Cat Sebastian.
Thank you. From We Could Be So Good.
Not
a book I just read. So they're 25 in 1959, which means in 2015, when the Obergefell decision happens, they're 81. Putting aside the number of cigarettes they're smoking, the predisposition to probably heart disease, their diets, ignore that. The stressful lifestyle.
All that.
They live to be 81, okay? So here's what I think happens. I think Nick starts acting really weird the day the decision comes down. He starts acting weird, and Andy's like, oh my God, he's like dying or something. He's freaking out because they're old. And Nick's just like he's just, being his normal nervous Nelly self. He's panicking. And Andy's like, what is going on with this guy? He can't figure it out. And then he casually mentions it, like, oh, yeah, so exciting. We could finally get married. And he sees it in Nick's eye. And he's like, oh, that's what he's being weird about. Like, he knows immediately and is like, hey, we should get married. And Nick's like, wait, I was going to ask you because I had this whole plan coming because you didn't get your wedding. You never got to have kids. You never got all these big milestones that you wanted out of life. So I was going to give you, at least I could do a really nice proposal. So I've been planning it, and Andy's like, well, I don't need that. And he's like, no, but I don't care. I'm going to do this for you. So just shut up and we're going to stop talking about this now. And then a couple weeks later, I think he has like maybe it's on the rooftop. He tries his best to get down on one knee. He's 81. Like, he does his best. And they get married at like the courthouse, like the same day. But they have this one moment that's like this big milestone that makes up for all the things that Nick feels Andy had to give up to be with him. And so that's my headcanon. I think, of course, they're still together. That's not even a question, but
I love that. My one amendment to that would be, when was gay marriage legalized in New York?
Oh, that's so true. I forgot about New York. Oh, that could really help with the age thing.
That was in 2011.
Okay, so they're in their 70s. It was 2015.
So they've got a little bit more time to be married and less decrepit.
Yes, more
so
likely
I think
that they're
maybe
still
when
alive.
the New York, and then like when Obergefell happens, they are like shedding a tear, like
they're
supporting
so
all the young gays and
of
stuff.
course.
But like they do get married on July 25th, 2011 or whatever.
Thank you. You blue state elites. I forget that you guys have that. Down here, we had to wait for the Supreme Court. So
we have extra rights.
Anyway, that's my thought. I don't think they ever break up. I don't think there's even a whiff of that. I never think they even have a fight where it even comes into question. So
no, they might have had like one or two like big fights, but it was never even, like, it's not. Did I make the wrong choice?
No, that never occurs to them.
Perfect.
They're literally
perfect. Yeah. I would love to talk more about this in the what have I read recently section. I feel like we have to come back to that. Okay. My last is the category is they are in love till their dying breath. So not only do they stay married, but literally it's like Notebook style.
Yeah.
They die at the same time together because they couldn't live a moment without each other on this planet. Yeah. And that is, I think also no surprise, a queer couple, Joan and Vanessa from Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Period. Yes.
These, dude, talking about what, oh my God, I'm going to start crying. But like when Obergefell, well, they live in California, right?
Yeah.
Or who knows? Did they live in Texas?
Yeah.
Okay, here's my thing.
Yeah.
I think that they end up living in California because there's I think they end up taking positions at the Jet Propulsion Lab in Pasadena, California. Okay. They move out to California. They live there. They're active in their niece's life, whatever. I don't know if they end up having a kid. Maybe not. I think maybe they just are winks.
I think they take custody of the niece. They think
do.
They fully.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're doing that. They're doing that. I think, so hold on, let me Google. How...
This is a very educational episode.
old would Joan and Vanessa be now? Hopefully Google knows what I'm talking about. Perfect. Okay, now they would be in their late 60s to early 70s.
Okay.
So they would have been in their 50s to 60s.
Okay. For
the Obergefell decision.
Oh my God.
I think I think they would have been like one of the first people. You know what? Oh my God. No, I got it. Okay. Do you remember that video of Kamala Harris when she's marrying the first like lesbian couple in California? And she's like, you must start the marriages immediately.
Yes.
And that's like hilarious. Okay. Yes. She married them. They are those women. They got married by Kamala Harris because they're like NASA. You know, like they're like, oh,
that's
we're
so
getting the
true.
attorney general
This is
to
great
marry us. Like the minute after Obergefell.
Correct.
Or actually, no, it was California. So again, it was earlier.
Yes. Yeah.
When was gay marriage legalized in California? Okay, 2013.
Okay.
June 28th, 2013.
Hell yeah.
They said, yeah, no, we will be getting married by the attorney general of this state immediately.
Yes.
We'll start the marriages immediately. If anyone knows. If anyone's as chronically online as me. But anyways, they love each other forever. Like they are in love with each other forever. Yes, they have their fights. They always find their way back to each other. They're one of those couples that like at night after they've had a fight, they have this rule. It's like even if they're not ready to start talking about it, they like touch pinky toes in bed.
Oh my God.
Just to be like, I'm here. You know what I mean? It's like, I see you. I'm here. Like, I'm not ready to talk about it yet, but like, I love you and I'm not going to leave you because they have literally faced death. They have faced death. They have faced the real true reality of one of them dying not on this planet.
Yeah.
And never having their body.
Not even having their body back. And no one would even know.
Exactly.
No one would even know what they are to each other.
So I have chills. I have chills right now.
No, you're correct.
But they love each other and they live their love out loud every single day. They like are mentors for other younger queer couples. And women they like play pickleball.
Trying to get into STEM fields. Oh my God.
Exactly. They love pickleball. They love like cycling and like going, you know, like kayaking on the beach. Like they have like a lake house. They go kayaking. They just do lots of like outdoor activities and just they really love each other. And no fight is too big for them to overcome. And yeah, they die at the same time.
Correct.
Peacefully in their sleep.
In their 90s.
They won't live a minute on this earth without one another. That is That is Vanessa and Joan.
The stars shine extra brightly. The night that they have. And there's like a big the flags fly at half mast. It's a better world. This is the world where Texas turns blue. No, Alex like, Claremont. Yes.
This is in the red, white, and royal blue timeline. They're in the same universe. They're in the same universe, and like there are like elementary schools named after them.
Yes,
and like you know how there's like an Obama Boulevard in like every city. Yeah. There's like a Joan and Vanessa Boulevard, and like you know like. There's museums named after them. Yes. There's airports like in San Francisco. It's like the Harvey Milk International Airport. They open up like a new terminal, and it's like the Joan and Vanessa terminal.
That's correct. You're 100% correct.
The Janessa terminal.
Someone take me to that world.
They are that prolific. Yeah, they are icons, and their love is beautiful.
Yeah, I see them sort of becoming like reluctant queer advocates. Like they don't really intend to, but over time, as things like progress, they sort of unintentionally become like very out front in the fight for like equal rights. And I see that. Yeah,
well, like in the first wave of like queer equality, they were like, I don't like. We've already done so much. We've already like lived so much. I'm tired. But then, like in the second wave of like rights being rolled back, attack on trans kids, then they're like, you know what, we have to use our influence. Yeah. And yeah.
Totally.
Beautiful.
Totally agree. I love them so much. Guys,
look forward to our Pride episode.
Oh my God. Obviously, we can't shut them
Obviously. But God, their love is beautiful.
Notice how all the queer couples make it to marriage in my relationships. And look, it's just on another level.
I think the divorce rate is lower among queer people.
People are like lesbians get divorced more, and I think that's fake news. So my understanding is that statistic is because they are counting all divorces, and many people realize they're queer later in life and would have had a divorce and then are in a lesbian relationship.
Do you want to know? This was pointed out to me by someone or some podcast in the last few years, but like the statistic about 50% of marriages fail. Oh, this was on maintenance phase.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's counting people who have been divorced multiple times.
Right.
So it's not that 50% of couples get divorced.
Right.
It's that 50% of marriages end in divorce.
Which could be the same person like 12 times.
Exactly. So it's not actually like totally, it's not like, okay, me or you are getting divorced.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I don't know. My grandma was divorced 5 times. You know what I'm saying? Like she covered me.
She's putting, we're good. Your grandma's got us.
Good. She balanced it out.
Yeah.
So
my actual hot take is that I would rather read about a couple, and this applies mostly to fan fiction. I would rather one of them die than read them getting divorced or breaking up. I know that's unpopular, but I can't stomach it. I'm like, that's me being sick in the head. But them dying, I'm like, well, they made it. Like, until death do us part.
Yes. Well, I actually thought about that with like, and again, I think it was actually some of the queer couples in these books, because I was looking at my story graph and I was like, oh man, they would totally end up together. But then I remembered they died together in the book, and I was like, oh right, tragedy. Okay, so yeah, that done and dusted.
But they do end up together.
Like,
yeah,
exactly. So, all right, I think that concludes our conversation about couples. Where are they at? Let me just check our thing one more time.
I was going to do the same thing.
No last minute submissions. Nope. Let me check my personal Instagram. So yeah. Wow. Great discussion. Oh, someone
really
said Bella
fun.
and Edward.
Oh,
we handled it, babes. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, because that's okay. This is back to the whole dying thing. Like you said, death is what makes relationships meaningful. And so if you love someone through them dying, that relationship actually, the love never goes anywhere because you still love them and they're gone, but you remember them. But if you break up, the love does go somewhere. Like, you don't love them anymore. I mean, not saying that people who break up don't love each other anymore. I know there are a lot of reasons, whatever. But eventually, you know, like, you hope that you move on. And so I just think that's so much more tragic to me. But like, also leave your shitty husband. Yeah, like, I contain multitudes. Okay, I love
your
divorce.
husband.
Anyways,
leave your husband. Well. Okay, well, first of all, I've been slow walking a couple of things just because I have been. But I'm excited to let you know that I have been reading Starshipped by Kat Sebastian. Okay. Yeah. And I will reserve my thoughts till later, but I'm about halfway through.
Okay.
Also, I finished so we talked a little bit about Paladin's Grace, the Saint of Steel series, book 1 of Saint of Steel series by T. Kingfisher. I was like, oh, maybe this will be something that will like really engross me. And it is, but not in the way I thought. So this series, I thought it was going to be like heavy romantasy, classic romantasy tropes, really suck me in, all this stuff. It is not classic romantasy at all. It is not. It is, each story, I would say, is equal parts romance and adventure. Okay. The romances are slow burn. They are earned, and there's probably like they do eventually get together in the biblical sense, but it is like not the main point of the book. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The concept here is there is this land that it's like a polytheistic culture. There's lots of different gods and goddesses and stuff. And there's this group of paladins. Paladins are warriors chosen by gods that are like, they like tap into the power of the god, and the god uses them to do their bidding. And the Saint of Steel is a god who calls these paladins, and he's all about like justice, and he sends his paladins in to like kill evil people, but he keeps their sword from hurting the innocent. And that is all great because they have this gift. It's like called the Battle Tide, and it like they become like these crazy killing machines, but they're only ever capable of killing people who are evil.
Sure.
But then the god dies. And many of them go crazy immediately and like kill each other or die. Sure. And there's like 7 of them remaining. The 7 remaining still have the potential. They still have the battle tide, but they no longer have anyone to control it. So it's like they are controlling it. And like it's like this wall between them and the world. They're like super great people, but they are just like, they have this thing that's like this power that could be used for evil. They end up going to live and work at this place called the Temple of the Rat. And the rat is a god who is like really all about like justice, feeding people, taking care of the poor, representing people in court, doing stuff like that. Doesn't have like an army or anything. Anyways, the books are like a story of each of the paladins and like their arc. And the through line of the series is this one like big bad evil thing that's happening in the realm that like they are working with the Temple of the Rat to like fix and to like find. So there's like mystery, adventure, quests.
Okay.
Also coziness. It's just very cozy. It's hard to explain. It's just like the main character in the first book, the paladin, he like knits socks. Like he's just like, everyone's kind of gentle. Right. It's not Shadow Daddy type stuff at all. There are like very casually like trans characters, non-binary characters. It's just like extremely inclusive and effortless without centering like trauma. Yeah. It's more just like centering the identity.
Sure.
In the second book, Paladin's Grace, the one I'm reading or Paladin's Strength, the one I'm reading right now, the female main character is over 6 feet tall and she's like gigantic.
Yes.
And I'm just like, I love this. It's just effortlessly inclusive without like shoving it down your throat.
Yeah, it's not like performative. Yeah.
No, it's just earnest. Like the characters are well developed, interesting, complex human beings who have lots of different identities and characteristics. So anyways, I'm enjoying it. I would say for me, they're not necessarily like bingeable, but they are like a good read. Like a good book to have going while you're reading something else. Okay. And I've enjoyed the second one more than the first. Okay. And I look forward to finishing that one. I'm 80% of the way through and then continuing on the series. So
how many are there? And is it a complete series? And do you know? And how many are there?
I believe it is complete. They are... the last one was published in 2020. Hold on, let me Google. There's 4 out right now.
Okay.
I know one of them is a queer story because one of the paladins is gay. Is the Saint of Steel series finished? No, it's not yet complete.
Ooh, exciting.
While there are 4 main books available as of 2026, Paladin's Grace, the author has indicated plans for a total of 7 books, one for each of the surviving paladins. So we're only just over halfway through.
Okay.
So anyways.
So get in while you still
do
can.
It.
Okay. Sure.
Get in while you still can.
I'll circle back. I did have it from the library, but you encouraged me to read one of the books.
And I was right about that.
You were correct, but
I was right about that.
I'll circle back to getting this back from the library.
Yeah, come on back. All right, so let's talk about the thing I really want to talk about, which is what you've read recently.
Yes. Okay, so we'll start with, I have 2, but we can start with Nick and Andy. So I obviously read We Should Be So Good, or We Could Be So Good, which you recommended to me, and I loved it. I texted you many times, like many photos, less than I even could have. I could have sent more, but I was absolutely... It was like, okay, so with You Could Be, Should Be...
So this is the first in a series of 2. There's hopefully going to be more. It's the name of the series is like Mid-Century New York or something like that by Cat Sebastian. This is the first in the series, like a multi-character universe.
Yes.
Go.
Yes. We Could Be So Good. I read You Should Be So Lucky first, and that one I couldn't put down. Like, I read it all in one day.
It's also really good.
So good. This one, though, I was reading a few pages at a time, and I'd be like, wait, I don't want it to be over. So I would put it down, and I would come back.
No, that's what I said. I feel the same way. It's like, You Should Be So Lucky. I was like, can't stop. Gotta read, gotta find out what happens.
Yes.
We Could Be So Good. I was like, I'm scared for this to be over.
I need to savor this. So it follows Nick and Andy. Nick is... like they're both reporters. Andy's dad owns the paper and he's like gonna have to take it over one day and he doesn't really want to, and he's a little bit like bumbling and forgetful, but like really sweet and like not bad at his job and earnest, but he's just like, he doesn't feel like he's cut out to like take over this whole paper or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then he becomes really good friends with Nick, who's this like, you know, sort of rougher, bigger, tougher, like Italian, you know,
self-made,
bootstrapped. He worked his way.
He works his way.
And he's also a reporter, and he's like kind of showing Nick the rope, or Andy the ropes. And they become friends.
And he wants to hate him at first.
He wants to hate him, but he just instantly doesn't. Like, he just is immediately endeared to him. And they become friends, they become roommates, and then they become...
No, because... Hold on. Them becoming roommates,
dude,
after at least one of them is already feeling a spark, is crazy.
It is so serious to me.
I didn't know. I haven't read that many roommates to lovers books, I don't think.
Yeah.
Especially if they're not like, I think the ones I have read are more like rivals or like enemies or like forced proximity or something like that.
Friends.
This is like, we're good friends to like, there's no hetero explanation for this because it's like, oh, Andy, you have a big apartment,
like a huge,
that's fully
nice
furnished and paid for, uptown, and you're not staying there because you don't want to be alone.
Like,
you want to be with me in my shit apartment. Hey,
dude.
Hey,
and it's just. I actually, reading this book and then the next book I'll talk about made me realize how much I love, and part of why I like Cat Sebastian so much is that I love so much like internal conflict versus like external conflict, and I just love
well put
how Cat Sebastian. So in this book, Nick, again, like I said, he's like this big, strong, tough New Yorker, and his whole internal conflict is
really
that
like
he is
Guido, you know?
And he's so scared. Like, he is just so scared, and it's not what you would expect because he is this like big, strong guy. And then Andy's whole thing is just like, he just wants a family. He just wants to be loved. He wants to like have a family. And them both like they're both afraid of this thing but how it comes out in different ways and how it comes from different places, and the character work that Cat Sebastian gives us to understand why they are the way that they are and the things that they've been through and how hard it is for them to overcome it. And even at the end, they're like, I'm gonna brute force my way into this because I love the other person so much. Like, it's not easy, and it's not a natural conclusion, like, especially it's mid-century New York, like, it's illegal to be gay, but they're gonna like fight the universe and like take this thing by force, even if it's hard and even if it's scary and even if it's like not their natural inclination, or it would be easier to just walk away. And I loved it so much. I like was crashing out multiple times, obviously through text message to you, and I couldn't take it. I'm trying to find a quote that I sent you that I could read. I don't want to spoil
while you're
too
looking
much.
for that. While you're looking for that, I'll say like another thing that she does really well in both of these books is highlighting not just the trauma and the fear of like, it's not that is something that is happening of living in mid-century New York. I mean, all of her books up until Starship have been historical romances. So I'm interested to see how she frames this in even older time periods or even more past. But she really highlights the joy of their queer community that they have. Yeah. And the support network that they have. And it's not just being like, everything is horrible. And I'm like, you know, it's like, oh, we have this.
We do have a family.
They found safety. They found, you know, like they have people over to their house for dinner, like in spaces where they can be themselves and they have opportunity to like let their armor down. And but even like the moments they're like riding on the subway together, and it's like, I want to reach out and touch his hands.
I just want to touch him. But like, I'm so hyper aware of it now because like maybe I wouldn't have even thought of it before I realized I had feelings. Oh my God. No, this is not like a spoiler because obviously it's a romance that ends happily ever after, but he says, and it, that's what Andy's going to do. He doesn't care if the world wants to give him space to make a life. He's going to push and shove until he and Nick have the space they need. And then he's going to build the kind of life they want. If he wants someone to come home to, and if Nick wants to be that person, then Andy's going to make sure they have it. Dude.
Beautiful.
So
it really honestly is like, it is up there with Atmosphere on like beautiful love stories.
It is just a gorgeous,
yes,
dude.
It's just beautiful.
The like yearning, and it's like the same as all of I think her books, like just it's a slow rolling. It doesn't follow the traditional like 3-act structure of a romance, which is fine, it has its place, but it's like the slow ease into falling in love, and like the steps and the like yearning and the like like realizing, and like the longing looks, and like them misunderstanding each other because they both think like there's no way he returns my feelings. Like, it's so important to me. It's so serious. So thank you.
Up next, I have from the library After Hour at Dooryard Books after I finish Starshipped. So more to come on that soon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Let me see.
I'm all the way in.
What year? Yeah, I know. I'm just like, well, I know what I'm doing this summer. Reading every book Cat Sebastian's ever written. After Hours at Dooryard Books. Oh, it's also Mid-Century New York, but I don't think it's part of the series.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It is 1968 New York City news about the war might be keeping Patrick up at night. News in general might be keeping Patrick up at night. But he's doing fine. He's sure of it. He gets to spend his days selling books in the gayest neighborhood in the East Coast, and his nights merrily sleeping his way through the rare book community. But when he takes in a drifter who seems to be hiding something, and his best friend and her newborn move into the apartment upstairs, his life gets turned on its head. A sleepy little bookstore should be the perfect place for Nathaniel to lie low, waiting for his past to catch up with him. But it turns out Dooryard Books is full of political radicals and anti-war agitators. If the FBI isn't actively surveilling this place, it will be. Nathaniel should go anywhere else. The last thing he expects is to like these subversives. There's a grieving folk musician and her baby, a demon of a child who will only sleep if Nathaniel, of all people, holds her. There's a pair of rabble-rousing teenagers who upsettingly seem to be right about everything. And there's Patrick, who can't walk past anyone who needs his help, and who is perplexingly determined to help Nathaniel. As the world balances on the precipice of something new and scary and maybe even hopeful, Patrick needs to decide what he's willing to risk for his chaotic new community he's accidentally created. And Nathaniel needs to figure out whether he has a place in this messy, flawed world and whether he can believe he deserves it. 4.42 stars.
Dude, Cat Sebastian, you have a fan for life. I'm going to read that one too. That's my book. My library only has like 2 other Cat Sebastian books in their catalog, and that's one of them. So I will read that one next, for sure.
The good news is, I think, which is something that we should highlight for our listeners too, is that the Queer Liberation Library has more of them.
I have already checked. They have many. They have many of them.
Okay, good.
So I will be turning there as soon as I exhaust my library.
Plug for the listeners. You can get a free online library card. It's an all digital library from the Queer Liberation Library at queerliberationlibrary.org. Memberships are free with an email address. They support the library's ability to get more books, but they highlight books. Like all of their books in their catalog are from queer authors or feature queer stories.
Yeah.
And you can integrate it with Libby and get it on your e-reader and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it was super easy to do, so I recommend it. Okay. The other book I read, not as exciting. I mean, it was really good, but it's no Nick and Andy. But it was cute. It's called Girl Next Door by Rachel Meredith. It is her debut novel, and it's really a funny premise. So it follows our main character, MC. She lives in New York. She has a bunch of roommates, like a small shitty apartment, and she works as like a freelance writer. Her life's like fine, and she's from this like small suburban town outside the city, and doesn't really like have a good relationship with her family, doesn't go home very much, like hated high school or whatever, I don't know, something. And her best friend, who also grew up in this small town, Joe, also lives in New York now. He's gay, whatever. They have this close friendship. He works at this like, I don't know, like a People magazine type place, like a celebrity gossip magazine. And his job is in the arts and culture section, which is obviously under threat because it doesn't perform very well. And so he's like really worried about his job. He's kind of been implied that he doesn't, have very long there. And he brings her into a meeting and says, okay, so there's this really, really, have you heard of this book? It's really, really popular right now, like #1 bestseller. It's called Girl Next Door. It's about you. And MC's like, what? And he's like, you have to read it, but I read it, and I think that this girl, Nora, who was like shy, quiet, really standoffish, I think she wrote it about you. The character has like your same initials. The setting seems really familiar. The main character really seems like this Nora girl, and it seems like they were like, you know, kind of enemies in high school. Then they reconnect as adults and fall in love. That's the plot of the book. And he's like, I need you to write a story. I need you to go home and try to, because she's written this anonymously and people are like speculating why she would do that, which again, suspend your disbelief, because like a lot of romance writers, especially queer romance not writers, write under pen names. But he's like, she wrote this anonymously. People are speculating this could save my job if I write this big expose on who this author is. You could go and like figure out why she wrote this book and, you know, confirm that it was really her. So she is like a people pleaser. So she agrees, even though she definitely shouldn't, because you can probably see the conflict emerging. So she goes home. Nora like lives a quiet life. She still lives in her parents' old house. She works at the library and she tries to reconnect with her. And, you know,
that's a crazy premise.
It's a crazy premise. There's a lot of conflict in this. There's like her family issues. She's staying with her brother and his wife, who are like, there's something weird going on between them. There's stuff with her and her best friend Joe, because he's kind of like manipulating her a little bit into doing this for him. Then there's the falling in love. So there's a lot, but I had a great time reading it. It's really fun. It's not that long, and I thought the relationship was really good. The character's really good. It wasn't boring. Yeah, I had a good time. It's another one that doesn't quite fall like the point where all the conflict kind of hits the fan. You still have like 20-30% of the book left, which I kind of, part of me was confused by it, but part of me really liked it because it felt more realistic. Like there was significant fallout from the events, and then like reconnecting again took time. And so I thought it was fun. It was fun. It was cute. I would read more from this author. I would be really excited to see what she writes next. And yeah, I gave it 4 stars.
Love it.
I thought it was good. Yeah. That's Girl Next Door.
Love that.
And a crazy premise. Like crazy. To write a book that is so like, why not change the names more significantly?
Yeah, that is crazy. Like, it's almost like you want to be found out.
Yeah, so maybe she did. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
I think is our next one going to be our Pride episode?
I was wondering that. I don't know if it will be. Well, we can do a little before it. So this will come out. No, it won't be. It will be. So our next episode will be our Pride episode. Obviously, we have a lot of ammunition. So we'll see you guys then.
Yes.
Bye.
All right. Bye.